Now, do you think that the volume actually increased, or do you think that your awareness just became a little bit more?
It's the latter,
yeah. Yeah.
It just seemed like everything got louder.
Did anyone else notice that? That it seemed like things got a little louder when I stopped talking and all you were doing was just listening to the ambient sounds? Yeah, we've talked a little bit about it is believed, I don't know if anyone knows this precisely for certain, but I've seen this in scientific literature, that it's believed that the brain is processing about 11 million bits of information every second. But the conscious mind can only handle about 60. So it's a very inefficient kind of blunt machine, this, what we normally think of as our conscious awareness. And there's a part of the brain, I think it's called the reticular something. I'll have to look this up. But its main job is to filter out all the stuff that it thinks you don't really need. And so you might have noticed this interesting phenomenon. Like, have you ever bought a car and then you notice that right after you bought that car, you see it everywhere? And yeah. Have you noticed that? Or you meet somebody with a name that you've never heard before, and then all of a sudden you start meeting all these people with that name, and it's, or you hear the name more often. Like, for instance, our daughter's name is Chiara, which is the Italian version of Clara, or Claire in English. And I'd never heard that before my wife decided that's what we should name our daughter. And now I've seen it. There's some famous Italian movie stars named Chiara. A friend of ours brought a book for our children, and the illustrator's name is actually Chiara, spelled the same way, Chiara. So it's just amazing. I think there's, when all of a sudden, when the brain says, oh, this is something that should be noticed, you start seeing it everywhere all of a sudden. And I think there's some benefit to that in terms of how powerful understanding our beliefs are. Because if you believe a certain thing, that might really be limiting you in your life, depending on how that's limiting you from seeing things, opportunities that you would see if you didn't hold that belief. So that's one of the beautiful aspects of the practice is just, we start to become, again, as we're seeing ourselves more objectively, like we're looking into a mirror, we start recognizing, like, wow, I have this belief, and where did that come from? Like, I don't even know. Is it real? And you start to investigate it, and you realize, there's no reason for me to believe that. I have no good evidence to believe that. And then all of a sudden you start noticing, like, oh, you see a lot of evidence disproving the belief all of a sudden, So I'm really glad that you brought that up, because I think this is just something that, when all of a sudden you're asked to just be curious about your environment and you really make the effort, your brain just all of a sudden said sounds are important, and boom, all of a sudden it's like you hear this air that you didn't even hear before, right? And the voice of the teenagers outside, it sounded like they're right in here talking to us, Yeah, so it's a very, very good observation and an important one, I think. To just notice how awareness changes depending on what you want to be aware of. And then you might even notice in your life too, is just what you think is important based on your beliefs and your conditioning. What you see is really different from somebody who believes something different than that. Hello, my friend, and thank you for taking a minute to check out this video here at the Mindfulness Edge. I hope that you enjoyed it and found it helpful. Please feel free to leave any questions that you have about the practice down in the comment section below if you think I could be of help. I do my best to answer as many of those questions as I can, and I enjoy helping wherever I can. If you found the video helpful, please feel free to subscribe to this channel to make sure that you never miss any of the videos that we post. And you could also feel free to go ahead and hit that little like button. That will help other people to see this video, and hopefully it will be of help to them as well. And if you like, I have a little gift for you. If you head on over to themindfulnessedge.com, I'd be happy to give you free sample chapters of my book called The Mindfulness Edge. So until next time, I hope you are well.